Okay, folks. How is it going? You can see that I am. This is okay. Hi, Pasta. Hey, Jake. Hey, Tabby. By the way, I caught Let's Have a Booba this week, and that's a really nice show. And it's really cool that we have conlanging live streams every day of or 3 days a week, right? That's where is my how do I do my thingy here? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's really good. I'm gonna try to attend that as often as I can. So that's it's a fun show. Anyway, so we have finished translating cantrips. That part is done. I've also actually finished the first level spells, but I'll do a public release of those a little bit later, and then continue writing the spells all the way up to 9th level for D&D. And my plan was to eventually make that a book. So we can see if I can get that off the ground. Probably want to do a book, a version for D&D 5th edition, Pathfinder 2nd edition, and then thing is, D&D and Pathfinder are very well suited for the thing that I'm doing because they have these lists of discrete spells that per the lore, per the mechanics, require a verbal component, right? Some kind of incantation, right? So that works out. Thinking about noodles. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Um, yeah. So I'm the what I'm saying is like D&D and Pathfinder. They have these discrete lists of spells that I can make incantations for, and so those will be, D&D is the big one. So I do D&D first. Probably do Pathfinder. I think that Daggerheart should work. It's just I don't have any like lists of spells for it. So that might go MCDM RPG. As far as I know, that might require a different set of languages because their classes are different. Like they don't have wizards and sorcerers. They have the elementalist, and that's like it's not like a D&D wizard. It's specifically themed around the elements, and the subclasses are different element specializations, right? So it's like I don't know. Would they use Draconic, or would they use something similar to like an elemental primordial language, or would it depend on what world you're living in? I don't know what the magical languages of Orden are, whether they're just like D&D or they're going to do something different, right? So that is something else to think about. Plus, I think like they have a name, like sort of a pseudo naming language for Dragonborn that, you know, might not be like this. But anyway, all that to say, we are done with incantations as far as this stream is concerned. So we are back to writing. So let me pull up my spreadsheet. The Ndakaga Writing Origins spreadsheet, and let's take a look at what we've got. So we completed symbols for all the vowels. And then we did a few of the consonants. Now I'm thinking about, I have been actually sort of filling in meanings for all of these words, for these basic words. So there might be a case of, do we actually want this word or we want something different? We could switch it out if we feel like a word is not basic enough, it's not iconic enough. But for now, let's keep on working through these. Let's think about, so we've done mountain. Let's look at our word for mountain, our one for mountain. I think this is it. This is Guyim. And so you see, it's like two mountains close together, and you see the slopes, right? And this is turned on its side for vertical writing, but you get the impression. So a valley, let me see if I can find the valley. The valley drawing. Yes, I have a valley. So let me show you that with me big. The valley, I don't need to turn off my light. You can see this, right? So this is my sort of impression of the initial picture, but then transferred to our aesthetic. Hi, Logan. We're just doing writing stuff. I was slightly late myself because I was helping somebody with something. But yeah, our valley one is kind of going to look like a big V, which that's a wonderful coincidence that the English word valley starts with a V, but I know that it is a coincidence because it's not at all related to what it was before. Yeah, so we have that. So let's recreate that. I'm thinking, okay, let's go off of this. Let's remove that, and then we need to go make some lines. This is a great one starting out. I think just straight up 45-degree angles. And why can I not see it? Because I don't have any stroke paint. There we go. Oh. I don't want that. There we go. If we just do straight up 45-degree angles, we get that. And I mean, like, if you turn this up, let's do this. Let's group these and align them. No, align them. No, with the page. Align them that way. That works. We can probably go back and edit a little bit. I forgot to switch the monitor. There we go. So, sorry, I just had this is the valley one. Uh, I presume this is David on. Was just talking to you. How you doing? Okay. I don't know. I was just talking to both of them. I don't know who's on the Langtime Studio account right now. But, so this will be, this can be for this. Yeah. Okay. Let's, so, and then we can file, save this, save that as, what even is the Valley Taya? Taya. So that represents the, so that's for the aspirated alveolar stop. If the line is necessary, should it double? So the thing is, the way I have this, let me open one of the vowel letters. And I can show, because it's been a while since we went over how this system works. Let's go. Ndakaga. Let's go. And this is up for a little bit of adjustment, but if you see, the line is a through line. This is based on, the aesthetic is based on Ogham. If you've seen the Ogham writing system, it's basically just a central line. Here, I can look up Ogham examples. Okay, here we go. This is a system that was used to write Irish, and it has a central line, and you have lines to either side. Now, it's going to be different from what straight up Ogham looks like, because instead of like assigning like just a number of lines to a certain letter, like Ogham does, right? It has these different configurations because Ogham was created by people who already knew something about alphabetical writing. Instead, I am actually going all the way back to pictographs and then attaching the pictographs to the center line. And what I will be doing is, you see how this letter is on one side of the line. This letter is on the other side of the line. What we will do is the consonants will be all on one side. The vowels will be all on one side. For now, I have the vowels on the right and the consonants on the left, which will also translate when you turn it into horizontal writing to the consonants on top and the vowels on the bottom. And you would combine these two into a syllable glyph. Well, we can get more into that later, but that's the purpose of the central line, is to have something for these to attach to. Also similar to the top line in Devanagari. It's you know, not all writing systems, but it's not unusual for a writing system to have like a line that connects all of the characters. But anyway, let's move through this. We can worry a little bit about how things will fit together later. For now, let's get into, let's keep on making our basic forms so that we have something to work with. So kaga, Kaga. I definitely want to use Kaga because it's a valuable word, and I came up with a good glyph for it. If I can find Kaga in here. Let me see. Maybe I have in these ones. Kaga. Absolutely riveting, isn't it? Oh, it's like the edge of a stone. But are you sure about that? Because like I've got okay. So yeah, I guess it does. Which is not necessarily a problem. We can definitely do it that way. I think I've seen Ogham transcriptions where they did actually do the center line, but I'm not seeing it here. In any case, we are going to have the center line in some capacity because this might be something. I don't know if I will actually work this out now or if it will be something that comes later. But probably I will have to adapt this in some way to like pen and ink. Like a stylus or something, so that you can have the idea of people writing this script in their spell books, which maybe they might do a cursive version. Well, I mean, David, how could you write on both sides? Well, I mean, looking at this example here, like they've written it on the edge and you're just supposed to look at it at an angle, it looks like, and read it. So that what Logan's saying makes sense. Now this does give me a little bit of pause because like Yes, Pasta. The dragons would have invented this system, definitely. Yeah. David, you just have very strong opinions on things. That's all. But Pasta, yes. I would say so. I've been trying to stay away from like too much world building, but I do have to say, like, for all of these languages, I'm going to assume that the writing system was made up by the beings that this is for, just to simplify things for myself. If I were doing it in a context where I was doing much more thorough world building, then definitely I would consider who invented the writing system and whatnot. This also, in this particular case, it also jives with the D&D lore because D&D, it says that that Draconic is written in the Draconic script. So there's sort of an assumption that the dragons have their own. D&D also, though, says like Sylvan is written in the Elvish script, and I think the like Primordial is in the Dwarven script. Those ones I'm probably going to go against because it would just be simpler for me to do a writing system that was invented within this language. Okay. So, anyway, let's enough talking. We got a lot of symbols to get through. So, I cannot find my kaga, but I know what it looks like. So, I will sort of go by okay. I will just sort of go by memory on that one and get it. So we can use this as a base for it in order to view, and because if I ungroup these and set them a ways apart, then we can get this. Yeah. And then we can go draw our lines. Okay. So this is a little bit more complex than some of the others. I think maybe we want to make this angle a little bit shallower because it's getting a little bit big. But the idea for this glyph is that the original was an image of a mouth with lines coming out. And actually, I'm going to do this. I'm going to remove this third line. That should be enough to give people the impression. Because kaga means voice. It also means language, but for the more concrete meaning is voice. Hence, the language is ndakaga, or the way the dragons call it, kagaif, the voice. Mm-hmm. I mean, listen. The whole idea behind like using Ogham as like inspiration was okay, what do dragons have? What can they do? They've got claws. And we can presume that those claws are like supernaturally sharp and strong. So when they're developing writing, they can just quickly scratch things into stone. And I don't think they're going to spend a whole lot of time on their writing. So is it like these kinds of very simplified shapes seem to fit very well. Besides that, David, I am not the artist that you are with writing systems. So for my first writing system in this series, something simplified works very well. Yeah, there was also another option was something inspired by cuneiform, which would be written in a similar way, but like would have, you know, more different orientations and things. Okay, let's see. I feel like there needs to be a little bit more space here, and then we'll be good. And I may come back and edit these. So this one will be the ka. Actually, you know what? I know what I need to do. In the original one, I had these being shorter. That looks much better. Let's get this. Okay, let me just take this one and flip it. That's not. Where's the. Okay. That's much better, I think. Okay, so let's get that. I think that might accidentally happen, just like it accidentally happened um, in Latin, but I haven't seen there's some that are similar, sort of as an accident. So let's save this, and then we can mark this one as done. And then means a giant worm, and I do have an image of that. So you can see here. This was, somebody mentioned like a word for a purple worm. I'm like, okay, maybe they can have a word for a purple worm. So I just kind of drew a rough sketch of a worm, and I thought, okay, like a worm, one of the giant one of the giant worms in D&D, they emerge from the ground. Thinking about it as emerging from the ground, just having just like two horizontal or vertical strokes works great for that, for representing that in there. So we can do it that way. So let's go. We already have our horizontal strokes here. Let's move them apart a little ways. And then we can align that. And there we go. We've got, and that is for the Yes, Ogam is really easy to carve. Probably easier than this script, because this script has a lot of characters that combine like a diagonal and a straight up horizontal stroke. Whereas Ogum is like very much like, you know, either you're doing straight horizontal or you're doing a diagonal all the way. Yeah. Um, anything is better than cuneiform. Well. David, maybe you want to come on when I get the next language to the writing stage. It'll be Sylvan. It'll be very perfect for your like fun curlicue scripts. Um, so let's mark that off. That was easy. Okay, and then Saya, Saya. It's really guys do not know how hard it has been to learn how to pronounce stressed schwas and then keep other vowels that are unstressed as as uh, as the correct quality. Yes. Well, we can. Why did I? It's D for done. Okay. So yeah. So yeah. So let's see. Where is my drawing of a fish? Um. Okay. Okay. Here, actually. So we. Who was it asking about letter pairs, pasta? So this is a place where we're going to end up with one. Just not with this one by itself, but we'll see how it goes. But let's look at. This is a drawing of a fish. I know it's derivative. I know it just looks like the ichthys, but that's what I went with when I simplified a drawing of a fish. And I went through and basically I take half of this and split it on the line. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Well, there are actually a few characters in Ogum there are. In in the Ndakaka script there will be ones that are parallel to the center line, but in that case I'm envisioning dragons mostly using stone. So it's not necessarily going to be a big deal if they're not doing it on wood, because stone doesn't have. Well, it depends on the stone. Some kinds of sandstone have a very visible grain, but mostly stone doesn't have a super visible grain that would confuse things. Um, so anyway, let's get to Saya. Let's go and get this out. And let's see. Doesn't need to be super. I think it needs to be a bit longer than that. And then we go here. This may need some finessing as I go back through and edit these. I think this doesn't need to be straight up 45 degrees. Yeah, this is going to need some adjustment. But there we go. That's the Saya. Saya. Stone has cleavage planes, huh? Yeah, it does have some things. So if I just group these, that doesn't do anything. How do I do the Control Z, Control Y? Let me Path. Combine paths? No. Let me see. There is a way to make this come to a sharp point, but I can't remember. Well, this is very annoying. Oh, I can deal with that. Go to this and turn off the fill color. Okay, that works. That works. Okay, so we can file, save as, and see. And then let's take a look at. Let's go to what is the. So this is done, and then I keep doing that. So. Yeah, you got, is that it? Okay, let me see. So, here's the thing, is sort of by evolution, and let's actually group this and center it so that we can have it proper. Control group. And center this. So this is for S, and the one for Y is from Yuga, which is, oh, you can't see things. Okay, here. Did you see me like futzing with it at all? Okay. So there is our half of a fish. Okay. And so what we have, we come here, and here we have river. River is our source for the y sound, right? And it, just by coincidence, because it was this squiggly shape, ended up being the mirror image of the fish. So yes, we do have like a PB analog. Well, that's unfortunate. So we will, I will try to make sure that you can see everything. So there we go. That's the yellow one. I love how Logan is just chatting away about material culture here. And so there. This also, we're going to have to come back to this in a particular way to modify it in order to represent the alveopalatal series, the alveopalatals, because those come from palatalized consonants, which ultimately come from a consonant plus y cluster. So I'm planning on using this combined with the source consonant to do things. Okay, so this one is for y. just doing this in romanization. And okay, so let's move on to the next one, and that is, so we've done this one. Okay, ha. Ha is a bit of a weird one. And this one I might want to consult with you guys a little bit. If I can find it. Did the old Irish people not have metal tools? I would have thought, is old Irish not like Iron Age? Let me see if I can find. I'm going to. Okay, I'm going to switch to just my face for a second while I search through notes and things and see if I can find this. Oh, I know where I can find it. I can go, because this was actually one of the original symbols that I came up with. I can show you the Kaga one too. Yeah, so let's go back to when I was doing the poll. Show more. And let's go. So, oh goodness, I need to make that so that you can see. So these were some of the early forms that I came up with. I haven't used all of them because not all of them work. So this was Kaga. Originally I had it like crossing, right? And then Hagi. Now, Hagi, I'm thinking I'm going to need to redesign that somewhat. Because here was my original plan for Hagi was to have it cross, but I'm not having them cross anymore. People keep saying they should breathe, talking about breathing fire, but the dragons were talking about breathe other things too. This was Kaga, and you can see how I came up with this basic idea, but I've shifted it so that it's all on one side. So Hagi, yeah, Hagi. We've got a couple of options here. One option. Let me run through some ideas that I had for Hagi, and we can see what works and what doesn't. So one option was to actually get a fuller picture of the head by doing some parallel lines. Now, Logan has pointed out to us that lines parallel to the center line are a little bit logistically funny. And also, I'm not really sure I like the look of it when it contrasts with every other character. Um, Another option would be to just do the crest. The crest is inspired by official D&D art, by the way. In some official art, in all the official art, they have like these big. It's similar to a triceratops frill, in that it's a big bony plate that comes up and it's kind of protecting the head and the neck. And I like that feature. If I just copy this, Control C, Control V, Control V. So we could just go with just the frill, and that would give us like these 3 diagonal lines. What do y'all think? What do y'all think about that? And we could even, actually, I think probably a shallower angle would be better for that. So we can even go something like this. There. This is looking good. Very simplified. You would have no idea what the source was. But then once you saw the source image here, you would be like, oh, I see where that comes from. It's actually not all that complex. When we line up all the characters, I think you'll see that it's not that weird. We probably will line up all the characters to look at it. No parallels. No parallel lines. You don't like the parallel. I don't really like it either. I think for now we're going to go with this. Yeah. I was doing 2 different candidates. So, although what you bring up about the whole system, David, I do plan on like going to. I want to make these a bit longer, actually. I'll line all of these characters up and see how they fit together, so that I can have an idea of like a unified aesthetic. You know what? Okay, this will be like an advisory vote. We've got A and B. So let's see. Which is better? This is not entirely binding. I'm just getting a little feedback from you guys. What do you think? Start poll. Yeah. Once we this is just what we're going to like assume for now, but then later on I will line them all up, and then we can adjust each character if we see that it doesn't fit in the aesthetic or something like that. I would like to at some point make slightly nicer forms with pointed ends and stuff in order to make it actually look like claw marks. But this is just like the basic idea. Okay. Just vote with your heart, Jake. Vote with your heart. How many people are actually watching me? Okay, let's get... We can give a little... give a little time. Get a few more votes. Okay. Okay, I think this is a landslide. I don't think the other voters are going to change anything, so I'm just going to end it. And we have a winner. For now, we're going to go with long ones. This is probably going to fit better with the rest of the system, but we'll see once we get everything in. Control G and center it and save. Save as, and this will be for ch. Now, let's go back here. We've got that. Okay, rapi. Rapi means volcano. I know that I have the volcano drawing in here. Rapi. Or I'm pretty sure I have the volcano drawing in here. Does not appear that I do. Oh. You'll have to excuse me. My 2-year-old decided to do a little bit of her own addition to this one. But here you can see this is the original volcano drawing. I ended up with an idea of, okay, we'll show an exploding volcano by having these things. Not entirely sure how well this, like the branching off is going to fit with the rest of everything, but we will do that for now, and then we will see how it ends up looking. So let's go and let's delete this, and let's make it kind of, yeah. Let's do it this way, and we'll have, right, okay. And then I need to do my trick to unify these. And then I need to take this, flip it, and does that look kind of like it was a volcano at some point? I think this is good for now. And then we will align that and name it R. Save as Ra. Okay, so we have Rapi. Now let's go and see what else we need to have. We almost done here. Okay, so these are the two that okay, we can do pa. Pa means smoke. And I have the smoke drawing here. Or I thought I did. Smoke. It is pretty on the nose if you know what it was originally. Okay, here. So this one was puh. And let me show that to you. So the idea was like just kind of winding smoke rising, and the it ends up looking kind of like a wing here, but I think if we work the angles right, we can get it working. In fact, let's see, we've got our volcano one up here. If we take half of that, actually, I think, let's not. Let's actually go in a different direction with this one. Because I feel like I have an idea for one that would be better for representing smoke. Something like rising vertically here, and then it goes off like it's being blown by a higher wind. Needs to be a little bit longer. Not quite a parallel line there. What do you think? I think I can work with that for now. Maybe it needs another line. Maybe it needs another line. Okay, here we go. I have an idea. Let's do this. Do another symmetrical one. And now it's like smoke rising and then spreading out. Oh, crap. You guys didn't see any of it. Okay, so I will undo my stuff so you can see what the process was. If I can control Z. So I started out with something like this, and I was like, that's a little thin. So I was going through, and I started going, okay, well, we can add another line, and then I copied that, and then I flipped that, and now it's I feel like that's a little bit better. Also fits as sort of an like a mirror of the volcano one. So that one is, what is that even? Puh. Some of these I might simplify further as we compare them, because like once you have the whole system laid out, then you can look at them and see, okay, where could I like remove some lines or combine some lines? Let me open the volcano one. Are they too similar? Are they too similar? Are they cool? I think it works with the, depending on how steep I do this angle. Yeah. They do look pretty similar. I could alter the volcano one a little bit and make it like make this a vertical. Let's see. Let's see all of them together. Let's see all of them together once we're done here, and then we can see about that. But that's done. Okay. This one I'm going to say. So we got ngangha. Ngangha meaning waterfall. Yeah, we get pretty similar stuff in any language, but it's it can be tricky. We need to look at the entire system and see. So we've got ngangha. Now I'm actually not super happy about what I came up with for ngangha. So I started drawing a waterfall, and it's I'm kind of drawing a mountain and then a waterfall, and then I came up with this, which is kind of similar to some other glyphs that I've done. So I'm thinking actually we're not going to go with waterfall for this. It's kind of an odd thing to use, but we've got some other roots. We've got nguhu, which is far or distant, but that's not very iconic. That's not very easy to represent in a picture. So ngakran, we can think about what words do you think might work? What other words could we come up with that would make something a little bit more like easy for me to start a pictogram from? I'm thinking about that. I just have a pen here. Lakran. What about say for Nakran? Could we do? What is it? Something I need a word for? Magic missile? No. I have a word. I know how to talk about magic missile. It's what is it? Apif. Okay. Insraf age apif. It's a thrown thing from the dream. So here's what we have. Ngakran. Yeah. Let's not think about D&D things. Let's think about things that dragons interact with. Ngakran. Pine cones. Parts of the body. I have a lot of body parts done. Like I have head and tail and wing and do I have something for tree in general? Let me see what obsidian tree. I have a word for a coniferous tree. I don't have a word for tree. But do I want ngakran? Oh, I have a word for deciduous tree and I have a word for coniferous tree. Did I not add that, Chimfra? Okay, I never added that one. I need to add that one. Castle. I think no, not castle. I think I don't really want to pigeonhole this as like having to have interacted with humans or humanoids before making this ready system. How about okay, yes, how about this one? How about bird? So we could go a few different ways. So if we're drawing a bird, we could draw a bird in several different ways. Let me come up with a few different designs. All of this would need to be simplified, but here's some different ideas of how you could represent birds. I'm not sure about the middle one because I mean, if they're distinguishing birds from themselves, this could look like a dragon flying too. We might have to think about different. This is a nice simple shape. This we can work with to make a little different. How about, I think maybe if we go with that, then we'd have like you'd have something like this happen, or going with this one. Yeah, that's very similar to other things I've done. Let's see. No. Oh, you should do, okay, like an ostrich. We've got an ostrich, huh? Ostrich looks like that, right? Yeah, we could have, and then let's see, if I abstract that out, we could have Or something like that. Yeah. Not a door. Yeah, I think I've got it. I think I've got it. Bird. Okay, I think going with an ostrich is what we're going to do, and then it simplifies to probably not the 3-line ones here, but like these 2-line designs here. We will see how well that works. If I get if I make it, which one was the one I was working from? Let's go. If I make it a very shallow angle here, not too shallow, but reasonably shallow, and then we go up this way. That could be an ostrich or a heron or lots of different kinds of birds. Okay, that one like combined already. Okay, so I think we can work with this one for now. Yeah, it could be a duck, it could be an ostrich, it could be a heron, could be anything where you are looking. This one could be anything for a bird that has a longer neck, so an ostrich or a heron or a flamingo or something. It kind of fits that. We could even, if we want to be very clear about it, origin, we could add that. I think that's too much. Also, tiny little lines like that probably are not fitting with the aesthetic. So, I think we will save as. For now, this one will be our. And then I had similar misgivings about snow, representing snow. Like, I could do a snowflake, but like then simplifying that is kind of weird. Did I not show you guys? Okay. Yeah. Here we go. This is my verb for ng. And you can see how you can see the body of the bird and the neck like a heron. And I considered adding like a beak there, but that's kind of too much. Okay, I need to be more on top of. I need to just stop doing the mountain triangle shape. Oh, like sort of take this volcano shape and turn it into a snowy peak, is what you mean, right? That actually makes sense. Let me try that. So let's have mountain with a snow cap, right? Mm-hmm. A big beak. I kind of like it without a beak. That looks kind of wonky. Or like this. I could see that happening, but it kind of doesn't fit with the other characters. So let's do this last one first, and then we can start lining them all up and take a look at the whole system. Yeah, that's a cool idea. So here's a snow-capped peak, something that dragons would see frequently when they're flying around. And then something to simplify it. Let's so like stages this could go through is we could have this simplify into like this kind of an A shape, right? And then we could lose the point at the top because that's actually kind of like weird when you're scratching into dirt, and it comes like this flattened mountain, so that the snow is like invisible now. And we can lower that a little bit, and then it almost looks like it's a mesa. It's kind of lost that meaning. So let's see if we can represent that. So we could go something like fairly steep angle, 45-degree angle, and then 45-degree angle here. And then let's actually advance it a stage further, and say that that top line disappeared entirely, so that we just have these two lines approaching each other. And let's actually make sure. And our word, remember our one that came from mountain is like two mountains together, and that becomes two parallel lines, two diagonal lines that are parallel to each other. So it would probably not clash with anything. It would end up looking a little similar to the volcano one, but distinct enough that it wouldn't really be a big issue. So let's go file, save as M. And this is all our base ones done. So let's put them together in a line. And I can't select multiple? Okay, fine, let's... Sorry, we got a lot of dead air while I'm working on this. Yeah, I have considered about should I ask someone to co-host with me. It's kind of, a question of who would I ask. Okay. Okay, you guys can't see everything because of the size of my screen. Let me adjust that so that you can see a little better. But here's what we're working with when we're looking at the full system. There's a few things that I'm seeing right now. um, Get William back. I don't know if William wants to do streaming. Uh, um, so here's some things that I'm seeing. Sort of aesthetically, there's a lot of variation in line length, and I may want to actually standardize that to say like we go this far from the center line, right? Um, uh, I'm also we've got a lot of different shapes. We do have some lines that are parallel to the thing, but actually I think I can lose these lines because there are other distinguishing features, and we could have an interesting thing of one vowel is 3 lines, one vowel is 2 lines, one vowel is 4 lines. That would bring it a little bit closer to real world Ogham, um, which is not really a bad thing necessarily. But like this could use a haircut. This could use a haircut. Um, this one could use boosting a little bit. This could use a haircut. This could use a haircut. This could use a haircut. Um, do really alien stuff. Maybe if maybe for a different project, Logan. Maybe you and I can do a live stream that has more alien stuff if I ever have time for that kind of thing. Uh, so yeah, this I need to fix. These 2 lines are different angles and it's bothering me. I think probably just like reversing this and flip it both horizontally and vertically to make this would be better. Um, some of these shapes um, could do with some simplification, possibly. Um, I don't necessarily need both of these lines. Um, but you can see like we're coming together. We've got a lot of things. I just need to like get the aesthetics fixed um, before I move on. I think because there are some things that are bothering me a little bit. Belta. Oh, the Z ones. What do you mean? Oh, it's not the same angle. Yeah, yeah. Turn the volcano into an X? Hmm. Let me let me pull that one up specifically and see which one is that. I need to look up the thing. So volcano, that's an R. Group. Like that. I mean, or just like actually crossing the lines, like do something like something like that. Something just a straight up X. I think I could do that. Yeah, if you make that an X, then that frees up some other things I can do with other shapes. I'm gonna have to stare at a lot of these. I think this could use a cut down. I need to decide like where like the upper limit of how far they come out is, because I think there's too much variation in like the valley one and the eclipse one. These come out really far, and then these are just barely poking out, and that makes it like difficult to fit together. Yeah. Topher, I think so. I don't know. I may end this stream here with just the dragons version of it, and then maybe come back later for a special for working on more cursive forms, or work on more cursive forms on my own. But definitely, like, this is not necessarily what you would want to have in your spell book, right? This is really annoying to draw to do with a quill and ink, or a stylus and ink. So probably we would end up with some more cursive forms. Maybe this would end up being like a little bit like a cursive N. But for now, this is what I'm working with. And maybe in the future I can do that, maybe even on my own. I kind of want to like wrap up Ndakaga and move on to the next language soon. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do that transformation right away. Right now, we'll just work on the part that's scratched into stone. Yeah, um, I think a lot of it is going to be giving certain ones a haircut, and and I'll probably do the X like David said. Maybe also put this like together into like a Y shape. Um, these two, I'm not sure if they're going to be clearly distinguished, because it's just this line is different. And I need to fix this. And then leave these, take off these thingies in order to make a like a 2, 3, 4 situation. Okay. Yeah, I think. Yeah. Um, I'm gonna leave it here. We've gone over a little bit, but like I don't have to like go and pick anybody up, so it's not a huge deal. But I'm going to leave this here. I will save this as. I will save this one. I'm going to look at it. I will see if I can find time to do some off-camera work on this. and then next week we will return to this and see what we've got, what we're working with, and and see if we can like move on from there, because I need to finalize these forms. Once I finalize these forms, I need to figure out exactly how they fit together into syllable clusters, and then I need to figure out how to handle complex onsets and codas. So, all right. With that, thank you all for watching, and happy conlanging. And